Ta-da! The review of the Nintendo DS Lite coming. You wanted it, and I gave it to you. So let's get into it. Alright. This Nintendo DS Lite that I got from eBay. Unfortunately, is it my least favorite color. Which I would rather have a different color. But the colors aside, that's the least of our problems. Now, Nintendo DS Lite, fairly light, yes, in hand, a much better console than the original one, which was bulky, and I had problems with the Lite and the shoulder buttons break a lot, and these two too, but I haven't had a problem with that. And when you get a DS, it's the same old thing. It's just lighter. Still plays Game Boy games very well, and it still plays DS games. Now it still has the same operating system. The only problem that I could think I have with it is the hinges break very often, and that's a problem with the Nintendo DS Lite. But I think it has been resolved in the Nintendo DSi because the hinges are much bigger and the screens are much firmer. See, look at that. If you hold it down like this, it just feels like it wants to close, and this feels like it's gonna break. But this is much better. But we're not talking about the DSi, we're talking about the DS Lite. Now the DS Lite plays every DS game. We have Mario Brothers. Always works. See how it works. Now the speakers are great. What I've noticed about it is that the screens on the DSi are much bigger, but the screens here are a little smaller. And it still plays similarly to the original one, except the screens are much brighter. Here I have it on the lowest because the battery's about to die. Now if you would just play a DS game like Mario here, you could have this hours and hours. The battery life is okay. I wouldn't call it the best, but it lasts about I don't know, if you're playing on the lowest setting, Nintendo says about 3 hours. If you're playing on the highest setting, it's much longer than that. Now it comes packed with the stylus, which some games, like the motion controls, games use it very well. And then this one, you could use it to select a world. Let's go World 3 here. And you could also use it to some puzzle games, let you use it to swipe or cut, like in Cookie Mama, you could like cut meat or something, and in puzzle games you swipe left to right or up down, and yeah, but most games don't really use that. And if the ones they do, they use it very badly. But for this, they use the physical buttons here. Now I know some games that do use the touch controls, and that would be Yoshi Touch Go, and I do have another one, but Scribblenauts uses it to type and put it in words, and most other games don't use it as frequently, like Mario doesn't use it as much. Now when I come to a DS, you could just bring this anywhere and charge it. It charges fairly fast, I think an hour or so, and the buttons are not that much to write home about. I had to figure that one out. But I think the D-pad is much better than the 2DS one, which just feels wrong. And a DSi D-pad feels much more clicky. Now the problem I have with this one is, in order to put in another game, you have to turn the system off. In this one, you just go back to the home menu, and that sucks. Now this also works with Game Boy games, as I said before, and it has a headphone jack. Look at that. Nintendo does what Apple doesn't. Just kidding. And here we have the power switch, the where is the volume rocker, and we have the stylus, the L and R buttons, and we have the charging port, which is his own proprietary charger. So don't think that the DSi charger or the 3DS chargers will work with this one, because it won't. And the hinge is broken on this one, and that the system works well. I have had no problems with it, and it goes, this brightening settings goes up all the way to 4, unlike the DS original, which doesn't even go up to 2 or something. Now you also have, it also comes with PictoChat and Download Play. You could also change the screens for Game Boy. The Game Boy, you could have the Game Boy controls have it on the bottom or the top. I personally like having it on the top, because looking at the bottom is I don't know. You could also turn it on to auto mode, which just detects that if it has a game, it will just go straight to the game instead of putting you into the menu. However, if you don't have the game on it, it will just take you to the menu, so don't be surprised about that. Here's the highest brightness setting, which isn't much clear. I need to get a better camera. Oh, no, that's the brightest setting. We should probably work it on that one. Unless that's the brightest setting. There we go. PictoChat is not that special. If you have another person with a DS, you could send them text, but who would want to send text if they're already in the same room? And the speakers aren't that good, but you could just, as I said, plug it into the headphone jack. And the DS games look like this. And the 3DS games are white and much longer. Now, as I heard that they have a game that has the internet on it, but I haven't never seen it. The DSi comes with it already, but this will be a separate review for the DSi. We'll get into that later. But other than that, that was a review of the Nintendo DS Lite. See you guys later. Peace.